When you get a persuasive writing task, it's important to follow several steps. You will get a writing prompt or writing question and instructions for writing. Your question might look something like this. You may get a statement, "It is cruel to keep animals in cages." And then you'll be given extra questions. So what do you think? Do you agree or disagree? Perhaps you can think of ideas for both sides of the topic. So read this question carefully and make sure you understand the topic. So you have to consider this proposition, "It is cruel to keep animals in cages," and think to yourself, well, is it or isn't it? And all the different arguments. The other thing to do is to make sure that you read all the instructions and ensure that you follow the steps and include all the elements. So the instructions tell you that you should start with an introduction, write your opinions, give reasons, finish with a conclusion, and also some points to remember here. These are very important because they indicate to you the kinds of things that you're going to be assessed on. So once you feel that you understand the question well, now it's time to plan. Firstly, brainstorm ideas related to the topic. You could use a mind map or a list, and here's an example of a list for the topic that we had. Consider both sides, the disagree and agree with a statement, and think of all the points. Decide which way you will argue. Are you going to argue for one side only or for both sides? So once you've weighed that up and you've decided on your position, now you can prepare what we call a thesis statement. So this is one sentence that outlines your main argument. Here's an example of a thesis statement. While some people claim that keeping animals in cages is beneficial, I believe that this is a cruel and unjust practice which should be stopped. So you can see that the first part, while some people claim that keeping animals in cages is beneficial, this indicates that both sides will be considered. And then the last part of the sentence, I believe that this is a cruel and unjust practice which should be stopped, expresses a strong and clear position on the issue. Now you're ready to write. So the bulk of your time is going to be spent writing the body of your essay. Remember, you must have an introduction, a body and a conclusion. Try and write at least 2 body paragraphs. Ensure that all your ideas are relevant to the topic. If you're not sure, go back to the question and go back to your plan. Use a range of persuasive writing techniques. Use connectors to link ideas between and within your paragraphs. So connectors are things like linking words like because, also, yet. Connectors can also be reference words like this, these, those, such as. Choose language appropriate to the topic and your purpose. So try and use terms that relate to the topic to show your understanding of that topic. And finally, use correct sentence structure, punctuation, grammar, and spelling. Leave yourself some time to edit and proofread your work. So read over the work to make sure it's clear and logical, and then proofread. Check grammar, spelling, and punctuation. It's okay to make changes to your work. In summary, the key persuasive writing tips are to have a clear idea of how you want to respond to the issue before you start writing. Have a list of the relevant points you're going to include. Know the structure of a persuasive essay, introduction, body, and conclusion. Use connectors to link your ideas. Use a variety of persuasive devices. Use precise language. And use correct spelling, grammar, and punctuation.